to another episode of Conscious Straight Talk with Katie and Lindsey.
Hi, my name is Katie Hutchinson, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I'm also a certified mediator, and we're so happy to have you guys here today.
We are. I'm Lindsey Kearns, the mama behind MalibuMamaLoves.com, and I'm also a certified conscious trauma-informed life coach. So on Monday, we had an interesting show about situationships. She's pro, I'm con. I think that they're
just whatever works for you.
Very
it's not pro and con.
We went over the pros and cons of it, and it was
That's
a really
true.
interesting conversation.
Yes.
And today we kind of wanted to bring that around full circle and discuss how to have a relationship, not a situationship.
Instead of a situationship. Right.
We don't want to have those
If
things.
this
So-
is what you want.
Right.
There you go.
That's true. Because
Okay.
some people might be in that season.
That's
that
true.
they're having
That's very true. Some people don't want to be
But
tied
if you're
down.
ready to get out, if you want that special relationship,
Here's some
tidbits.
tips.
Yep.
Yeah.
You start.
Okay, so number one, I say this all the time. You have to love yourself in order to be loved by somebody else.
You and everyone else says that all the time. And there's a reason so
Yes.
many people give you this advice.
It's very true, because if you don't love yourself, then you could put up with being treated badly because you don't love yourself, and that's what you think that you deserve. In addition to this, which is the same thing, you need to be able to sit alone by yourself and be happy with
Right.
yourself. It's
Right.
a recipe for a disaster if you can't just be alone and love yourself and be able to be
Yeah.
alone with yourself.
And I think moving from, I was going to say recipe.
No,
moving
that's
from
okay.
relationship to relationship is also not
Oh,
healthy.
okay.
It's too quick. You need to have that time.
You need the time
breathe.
to process and
Yeah.
to grieve and to move from one
and to
relationship.
kind of formulate what you really want out of the relationship.
And what
time.
you learned, what you
Yeah.
didn't, what you learned of things that you want and things that you don't want
Yeah.
in that relationship. So you need that time to process. And if you don't have that time and you run from relationship to relationship,
You're just going to hurt a lot of people, and
you're going to hurt yourself. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? You really need to take that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our next tip is a big one, and it's something that too many women do.
Yes, the men do
Whoa,
this
too many
too.
do.
There's a few that do
A
this.
few men do this,
but
but
more
it's
women.
predominantly women,
Yes.
and that's don't give up your values or become a chameleon. Change yourself just to stay in this relationship. You know, that's not right.
No.
There will
Your
be somebody
values
that
are-
will match you, that will be your partner. If you have to change on such a deep level to be with this person,
There's a problem. There's a problem.
probably not going to work out.
I agree. Okay, so always maintain your friendships. Don't give up friendships because you get into a relationship and you're in the honeymoon stage and you think you don't need your friends. With every relationship, the reality is there's a 50-50, 50% chance it's going to work out, 50% that it's not, right?
Yeah.
So you, as women, we definitely need that circle of friends, and I believe men do too. I really think, and I see men doing this too, where they just give up their friends and stop doing, things that they like to do. So it's very important to keep those friends and those friendships in your life.
As well as your hobbies. That's another tip. You don't want to start doing the things that you love to do just so you can be with somebody else. And you can always include them in some hobbies too, but you really want to make sure that you do keep the things that are close to your heart that you enjoy.
Some of your
for
hobbies
yourself.
separate. That's right.
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
So this is really important. Write down a list of the significant characteristics that you want in somebody. Nobody's going to meet all of this criteria, but it's very important to have an idea of what you want.
Yeah.
The I want this and the I don't want this.
I also love this tip because I totally believe in the laws of attraction. And when you think about how the universe works, if you're not only just writing down what you want and expect you're putting it out there,
I agree.
and you will attract that person into you. So making that list and really being
I
cognizant of what it is that you're looking for in the relationship, what your needs are, love languages, all of those things, then you can start to have a successful
Well, there's still a
relationship.
couple more things that we need to do.
Well,
okay.
The next one is a slow
Well, okay. So when
down.
you do start dating, don't rush.
No
Please
rush.
don't rush.
Yeah.
Everybody, men and women alike, don't rush. It's not a rush. It's
And
like
you know
trying
how-
to find the right job.
Yeah, and
wanna
you know
find
how
the
we
right
were talking
person.
about being a chameleon. be transparent.
Mm-hmm.
Let them see. Let your light shine. Let them see who you are.
Let them
That's
see the
where
good,
love
the bad, the
connection
ugly.
comes from.
Because
Yes.
they're going to see it eventually.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is something that I believe in only if this is for girls, women that want to get married, or men. And this is just something that I believe. I believe that it's best to not move in together because what is it? Why buy the horse when you can?
Why buy the milk when you can get the
Oh,
cow
that's
for
what
free?
it is. I kept saying horse and cart. Yes.
But see, now I'm the opposite of that.
Okay, and I
think
understand
that
why.
I wanted to live with my significant other before we did the whole marriage thing,
Mm-hmm.
just because
Then you know.
it's a lot of paperwork. And now that I've been through the divorce, like, wow.
Yeah.
So we wanted,
And you
I
know
wanted
what
to
you're
know.
dealing with
Yeah.
before you get married.
So it works both ways, but don't move in too fast, right?
Well, that's
After 3
for
or 4
sure.
months, like, come on, you need to give yourselves the times to get
Yes.
there and not
And
have,
know
what is it, like
each
a
other.
shotgun wedding type
Yeah,
thing,
know
right?
each other. Good, bad, ugly,
Yeah.
transparent. Okay, so once you start dating, my suggestion is to try to wait, especially for girls, because men, it's all about sex. Sorry, but you guys think about it like 70% of the time or something crazy like that. I have to look up that statistic. But women, please wait before you have sex. Like,
I've been told to wait like 3 months.
Yeah. Now
You
that's
saying
not.
4 to 5
I said
dates?
4 to 5
I mean,
dates
I
because
didn't
that's
do
not
that, but-
really. That's not. That's not your average American girl, at least in California. So, but yeah, the longer you can wait, the better.
The better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I've been told 3 months, but I think
Have you
4
ever
to
been
5
able to
dates-
hold out on that?
No.
There you
Because
go.
you want to know. Why waste the time? That's not going to work out. Peace out.
You've already been married or whatever. Okay, so even better if you can commit, if you can get the
Yeah.
commitment of being boyfriend and girlfriend before you sleep together.
Have that defining relationship talk.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That a lot of us avoid.
Mhm.
It could be uncomfortable.
Most of us
sometimes.
avoid. Yes.
Yeah, and don't move in together unless you're serious and you guys are already planning a future together, meaning you make travel plans together, you're creating a financial plan
We
together.
talk about, do you want
Family.
kids? Do you
Yeah.
like each other's extended family, et cetera, et cetera. There's
Yeah,
so many different
absolutely.
things.
I love this one. You really need to learn each other's love languages.
Yes, and we've done a whole thing on love
Yeah, it's
languages,
so important.
and it's so important.
It is.
I think it's important to collaborate, to share, to compromise, have fun, and just take this time to really learn about each other.
Yeah, and I think on one of our other episodes, you were talking about how a couple needs one activity that they can share jointly
So
together.
I read this article a while back, and I found it to be very fascinating. And it said that basically a couple just needs one activity that they enjoy together, and that can be, I've said this before, I think, that can be having a coffee and gossiping about the people that you had for dinner over the night before, or it can be
Taking a
taking a
walk
walk
together.
around the block, or
playing a board game
playing
together.
into that
Snuggling
with
tennis.
tennis.
Get out and get
Tennis.
some exercise
Lots-
together.
Tennis is always good. Tennis is great.
When you start dating, after the first couple of months, you should be meeting each other's friends and family. I think that's
And
kind
if
of a
you're
red flag.
not, that's
If
a
you're not.
red flag. That something could be potentially wrong.
Yeah.
Let me just add this because I don't have this in here. If somebody, you haven't moved in together, this is maybe more in the first 6 months. If somebody never lets you see their house, that's an issue. That's an issue. What's going on in that house that they don't want you to see?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could it
Same
be
with
another
their family.
girlfriend? Or exactly.
Yeah. Now you really want to look at their habits and be realistic about them because they're not going to change. And you can't have that expectation.
No.
And you can't look and say, "Oh, I love this person so much, but this person does X, Y, and Z that I really don't like."
That are deal breakers. Because
Right.
we all have habits that we don't like
Yep.
about each other. But it's deal breakers.
You need to be okay with their habits and
Right.
be realistic about who that person is, not
Right.
fantasy.
Right. And the thing is, as women, and I'm sure there's some men that do this too, a lot of us believe that if we get married, that these issues are going to get better. No! They're going to get worse,
worse.
people. Worse.
Every time.
Yes. So if you do start having issues,
Yeah.
then get some counseling. Clearly, I'm a therapist, so I believe in counseling. Don't ignore them. Once again, don't think they're going to be better if you get married.
Communication is key. You have to talk about it. If you're going to ignore it, it's going to fall apart and be over. But you need to talk with each other, and that's how we go back to talking about learning each other's love languages, because that's essentially a deeper way of communicating with each other. And if you don't have that ability to do, how far is the relationship going to go when you're both feeling empty all the time?
Right. It's not.
You know?
Okay, so a couple things to ask yourself.
Oh, big one.
Do you respect this person?
Because too
so
often
important.
we get so maybe physically turned on by somebody, and we get lost in that, and really
we forget that we really don't have any respect
we don't
for
really
them.
like them. So, and that can be devastating in a relationship.
Well, and especially this goes back. This is a stereotype, but especially for men, men need respect. Most men need respect.
Women need it too, though. It needs to be mutual.
We do, but men really they really bail when they don't get the respect. So ask yourself, like, will you have a fun time on a trip with this person? You know what I mean? I think that's really important. Like, you know, do you have fun going to the grocery store together if that's something that you do? Can you do little things or do nothing
and have fun together?
Yeah.
Yep. And enjoy each other's time. Absolutely. Yep. And then lastly, and I love this, and I've got to talk about the book again.
Wait a second.
We got to talk about the book.
Okay,
again.
we can talk about the book, but one thing that let me just say, this is so important, and this is something that took me a really long time to learn. Try to keep your relationship private. Now, that doesn't mean I do believe in talking to people and having an open line of communication, especially a few trusted friends or family members that...
Are you meaning like in the early stages?
No, more in the later stages, but
are you meaning like when people are fighting or something to keep that private, or like just keep the whole relationship private and don't
air all the dirty laundry, because people are always going to be coming from someplace with an agenda, whether they realize it or not, and it can just destroy the relationship. So try to keep some of it private, unless you have a couple trusted friends that you know aren't going to judge.
Well, that's when you should be going to a therapist. If you have things like that, that's a trusted, advised person that can help out. You would, you know, go to a therapy instead of going to his or her friends and telling them all about it.
Yeah.
You know, keep your
special.
garbage to yourself on that level, and don't involve everybody, I think is what you're trying to say.
Yeah. And so this one is really important. You want to? I'll just say it and then you add things. Okay. So try to treat your partner like you did when you were in the honeymoon stage, and pretty much.
You know what I'm dying to say right now?
What?
When he comes home, be wearing cellophane.
Oh my God!
A martini.
Saran wrap. Yes, we said this the other day, which was ridiculous.
A woman's book in the 70s.
Yeah.
When we were talking about Women's History Month, she released this book, sold over 3 million copies. She was telling women.
Be subservient, no matter what. Be waiting at the door in your saran wrap with your martini for him. And the hysterical thing is, which I said before, is when her book became so famous and her husband said, I want you to stop working. I'm sick of this famous thing. She said, peace out. I'm getting a divorce.
It wasn't very subservient.
No, that wasn't subservient. Okay, so.
But we're joking about that. But the reality is, it does take effort to keep that spark alive. You do need to be aware and cognizant and doing special things constantly for your
tiny little things. It can be bringing somebody a coffee or bringing a newspaper. Nobody reads the newspaper. I don't know.
Randomly
you know what
giving
I mean?
them I used to do random calls of love.
Yeah.
Right? I would randomly call up.
Oh, that's
say,
sweet. A text
hey,
message.
I love you. Just no reason for me calling you.
Yes.
Just a random call of love, and then I would hang up. And that would make them feel
good.
Really
special.
Good.
Yeah, or just a hug. You know what I mean? Or just a grab of the body. You know what I mean?
It is
touch
okay
of the hand.
to dress up for both men and for women to dress up for your partner and to have some fun and to whatever your jam is. You know what I mean? But you've got to do something, and you have to be aware. You have to constantly be, aware that you want to keep this relationship going and putting in the effort. Otherwise, when you start ignoring it, it's just going to fall apart.
It's going to fall apart. Another thing that's very, very important is active listening. Now, this is where men and women are very different. Women, lots of times, we just want to talk and talk and talk and talk about the issue. We don't want a solution. We just want to be listened to. Okay? I'm not saying a solution isn't good, and that's, but this is to men. Unless the girl asks for a solution, don't give it to her. Just listen.
Sometimes they need to just be held too.
What do you mean?
When they're upset and you're having
yes.
Sometimes
yes,
it's nice just to put your arms around the other person and just be quiet and listen and just hold them and let them get it out.
Exactly.
You know? So I think we're going to wrap that up here for today.
Wait, one more thing.
You have one more
The
tip?
most important thing.
Tell us.
Okay, you are going to lose your man.
Or woman.
Or women, sorry. If you stop having sex with them, okay?
Well,
I'm sorry. So the goal, in my opinion, is if you are together and you're in this relationship and you've been together for a while, please try to keep having sex once a week.
Even
if you don't want to.
This is one of the most important
Even
tips.
if you have to stare at the ceiling and pray to God until it's over, just do it. Because that is a great way to lose somebody.
Right, and it does create that physical connection. I think even in the Bible, it's even referred to as the glue of a relationship, which it really is. Sex is what keeps.
Well, for men,
it's that glue, right? You can have other fights, but if you have that alignment, that connection with somebody, you can find your way past.
Well, and it's the difference between a friendship and something romantic.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Any more amazing tips?
No, but we might have more by Friday. So
all right, you guys, we're gonna let you go. Happy Hump Day.
Bye.
We'll see you on Friday. Bye, guys.